Hello students, today I am back again. This time I will talking about the heteroassociative memory. For this network we will discuss the training algorithm and testing algorithm. We will discuss testing algorithm. Basically we are focusing on testing algorithm because it is asked in the questions to evaluate the network. That means we have to test the network. Therefore we will be discussing the testing algorithm. Okay, so see the training algorithm. Set all initial weights to 0, that is wij equals to 0 for I equals to 1 to n and j equals to 1 to up to n. All initial weights to 0, basically we don't do it actually, but we just only assume that all initial weights are 0. Okay, now for step 1, for each training target input output vector pairs, the ST start the weight adjustments wij new equals to wij old plus xi yj. Okay, the weights can also be determined by the formula W equals to summation of p equals to 1 to p for p associated pattern pairs STP into TP, where STP are the input vectors and TP are the target output vectors. Now come to the testing algorithm. Step 1 is to initialize weights from training algorithm. Okay, now step 2, calculate the net input to the output unit. For this the formula is yj is equals to summation of I equals to 1 to m xi wij for j equals to 1 to m. So we multiply each vector with the weight matrix obtained and then we sum all those things to get the net input. Okay. In the next step, determine the activations of the output units over the calculated net input. After calculating the net input, we apply the activation function. The activation function for the heteroassociative memory is this: if the function is bipolar, then yi is equals to 1 when y in j should be greater than 0, and for minus 1 if y in j should be less than 0, and when y in j equals to 0 we are getting the 0 value. Okay, now if the functions are binary, if the response of the net are binary, then yj is equals to 1 for y in j should be greater than equal to 0, and for 0 and it is 0 for y in j should be less than 0. Okay, now let us discuss a question. In this question we have to train a heteroassociative network to store the given bipolar vectors t equals to t1 t2 t3 t4 to the output vectors t is equals to t1 and t2. Also test performance of the network with missing and mistaken data in test vector. Okay, and the given data is, the inputs are S1, S2, S3 and S4, and the T1, T2 are the target vectors. The given input data is 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, and for this pattern the target value is minus 1 and 1. The second input pair is 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1. For this the target value is minus 1 and 1. The third pair is input pair is minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 and 1. For this the target value is 1 and minus 1. And the last pair is minus 1, minus 1, 1 and 1. And the target value for this is 1 and minus 1. The first step, let's see the solution. The first step, we have to calculate the weight matrix. So how we can calculate the weight matrix? Let us see. To store bipolar vector pair, weight matrix is wij is equals to summation of S transpose into P into TP, where this is the input vector and TP are the output vector. Okay, now for first pair, S is equals to 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. The value of S is 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1, and for this the target value is minus 1 and 1. minus 1 and 1. So to get the weight matrix, we have to multiply these two values. Okay, so we have to take the transpose of the input vector, so we can write like this. Okay, 1 minus 1 minus 1 and 1. Okay, and the target value is minus 1 and 1, that is minus 1 and 1. We have to multiply these two values. By multiplying these two values, we are getting a weight matrix of like this, that is a 4 cross 2 weight matrix. Okay, now for second pair, the second pair is 1 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1 1 minus 1 minus 1, where the target value is minus 1 and minus 1. So for this value, we obtained a weight matrix like this. It is also a 4 cross 2 matrix, that is W2. For first pair, the weight matrix is W1. For second pair, the weight matrix is W2. Okay, similarly we do for every pair. Okay, for third pair, S is equals to minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, target value is 1 and 1. Finally we get the value of W3 is minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 1 1 1 minus 1. Same for fourth pair, W4 is this. Okay, so the final weight matrix, which is the sum of the each individual matrices, so W equals to W1 plus W2 W3 and W4. Okay, so the final weight matrix is minus 4 minus 2 2 4 4 2 minus 2 and minus 4. Okay, now let us see the second part of the question, in which it is asked for missing and mistaken data. So with missing data entries, we test vector B x is equals to 0 1 0 minus 1. Okay, with change made in two components. Let's see, we have to made a change in two components of the second input vector. Okay, but the second input vector is 1 1 minus 1 minus 1. For this vector, the target value is minus 1 and 1. Okay, so the second input vector is 1 1 minus 1 minus 1. Okay, for missing data, we can replace 1 by 0, same as minus 1 also by a 0. See here, 1 is replaced by 0, the rest two values are same. For 1 it is 1, again for minus 1 we are replacing this minus 1 with 0, and minus 1 is same. Okay, you can take any combination of this. Okay, for missing data, we have to replace any two value by 0. Now computing that input, y1 y2 is equals to, now the input is 0 1 0 minus 1, so we have to multiply this input vector by a obtained weight matrix. So we get the data like this, that is minus 6 and 6. Okay, so now next step, we have to apply activation function over it. Okay, but after applying activation function over it, we see that minus 6 is less than 0, so we get minus 1 over here, and 6 is greater than 0, so we have to put 1 over here. Okay, if you compare this data to the target value for second pair, the target value is minus 1 and 1. Okay, the target value is minus 1 and 1. Then we can say that we can recognize the missing entries, because this value is same as that of the target value. Thus net has recognized the missing entries. Okay, now let us go for the mistaken data. Now test vector x, again we are taking the second pair, that is minus 1 1 1 minus 1, with change made in two components of the second input vector. The second input vector is 1 1 minus 1 minus 1. As you see here, the second vector is again 1 1 minus 1 and minus 1. Okay, for mistaken data, we have to replace 1 with minus 1 and minus 1 with 1, and the rest two entries are same, that is 1 and minus 1, 1 and minus 1. Again, y1 y2, the input vector is now minus 1 1 1 minus 1, mistaken data. we can multiply this value to the obtained wet matrix. Okay, by multiplying these two values we are getting 0 and 0. Now next step, we have to apply activation function over it. After applying activation function, we are getting value that is 0 and 0. If you compare this value to the target value, which is -1 and 1, then what will be the resultant? When we can say that for mistaking data, the output obtained is 0, 0, which has a mismatch with the target vector. Thus, NET does not recognize mistaken data because output obtained 0, 0 has a mismatch with target value -1 and 1. Okay. Now, come to the next part, which is the recurrent networks. The next topic is the recurrent networks. Okay, so neural network that provides feedback loops from output layer to the input layer to form a memory to the neural network is said to be a recurrent network. Okay, so in this recurrent network we are providing a feedback loop. Okay, so by providing the feedback loop only we can say that our problem is sorted. Okay, for example, if you want to model the dynamics of two-wheeler on road, the two-wheeler position, velocity and acceleration at the next instant of time will be a function of its current position, velocity and acceleration. This means there is a recursive relationship between the input and output. This relationship is worked properly if we provide the loop from the output to the input. After the whole procedure, we can assume that our problem is sorted. Okay, so now see, several recurrent networks are recurrent auto-associative memories, and the second is bidirectional auto-associative memories. Okay, now let us go for the recurrent associative memory. Recurrent associative memory, which is also known as the Hopfield model. Okay, now recurrent or auto-associative memories are linear auto-associative memories with feedback. These are dynamic in nature, that is time dependent on time. Okay, the feedback networks are dynamic in nature, whereas the feed-forward networks are static in nature. Okay, then feedback networks are time dependent, whereas the feed-forward networks are time independent. Okay, then this is the architecture of recurrent network. Okay, as you see here, the Hopfield model consists of a single layer processing element, and for stability of the system, each unit is connected to the every other unit in the network other than itself, which means the link between W11, the value of W11 is 0, same as the value of W22 is 0, same as W33 is 0. For stability, each node is connected to the every other unit of the network other than itself. The network does computation recursively in time until the system reaches a stable state. That stable state is known as the equilibrium state. Okay, the connection weight matrix is W. It is a square and symmetric in nature. For this, Wij is equals to Wji. Okay, for I equals to 1 to up to m, and for stability of the system, Wii is equals to 0. The connection between ith node, the connection between, suppose this is x node and this is y node. Okay, xi, yi, the connection between these two is 0. Okay, A single associated pattern is stored by computing the weight matrix. Okay, so how can you get the weight matrix? We get weight matrix by multiplying the input vector to the target value xk, and we have to take the transpose any two values, so xk transpose into yk, then we get the value of, then we get the weight matrix wk. And in auto associative memory, a single processing unit can act as input as well as output source. Okay, because it is a we are applying a feedback network, so the output of the layer A is the input of layer B, same as the output of layer B is the input of layer A. So each unit can act as the input as well as output. So xk is equals to yk. So w equals to summation of k equals to 1 to p for p associated pairs into wk, where alpha is the learning constant. Okay. So like in linear associator, encoding and decoding take place in Hopfield model also. Encoding is done to create matrix for storing p associated pattern pairs, and decoding is to recall the stored pattern on which the network stabilizes. Okay, so during decoding, the updation of weights can be done in three ways. Okay, that is, the first one is synchronous, then asynchronous, and the last is the hybrid synchronous and asynchronous. In synchronous, as you see here, in synchronous, the output of all the units are updated simultaneously before feeding the output back to the network. Okay, as you see here, in synchronous, what it is saying, the output of all the units are updated simultaneously. Okay, before applying the feedback to the input. Okay, now see asynchronous. Okay, in asynchronous, only one neuron is updated. Okay, and all the other outputs are delayed by a time. Okay, only one unit is updated and the rest units are delayed by a time. Okay, and in the last one, hybrid synchronous and asynchronous. Okay, in this, subgroup of units are made. These subgroups are updated synchronously, and units in each subgroups are updated asynchronously, which means, as you see the diagram, in this, subgroup of units are made. Like by using these two neurons, we are making one subgroup, and by using these two neurons, we are making the second subgroup, and by using these two neurons, we are making a next subgroup. Okay, and the subgroups are updated synchronously, where units in each subgroup, a single unit, can be updated asynchronously. That is hybrid, synchronous and asynchronous. Okay, so that is recurrent network. Okay, in the next video we will talk about the bidirectional associative memory. Thank you, student, for watching this.